Some good news for the Jaguars fans because they watched on a big screen as Tennessee defeated Pittsburgh 23-14, and that means that now the Jags have a game-and-a-half lead in the AFC Central. And look at that other score there that jumps out at you, of course, is Atlanta over San Francisco, 31-19. Atlanta moves to 8-2. 49ers fall to 7-3. And the Jaguars with a game-and-a-half lead right now atop the AFC Central, and they play them next week. But all week long, Tom Coughlin has said we're not overlooking Tampa Bay, even though they're a 4-5 team. Tony Dungy relaxed as usual and hoping that this can start a run. 2 weeks ago, they defeated Minnesota. All looked well. Last week, they lost badly after leading 16-3 over the Oilers. Logan returning the opening kickoff out to the 30-yard line. A 30-yard return, and Rondé Barber knocked him out, and so the Jaguars will start 1st and 10 here at Alltel Stadium. A sellout crowd will watch Mark Brunell playing with an injured groin suffered as he was scrambling last week. Vaselli, Coleman, New Year, Tilsky, and Searcy. The front line ahead of him, Fred Taylor, the brilliant rookie with Damon Shelton, a very strong fullback, and Keenan McCardell, who missed last week's game with a shoulder injury, back in action at wide receiver today. Passing on 1st down and sacked on 1st down. Good pressure immediately, and Reagan Upshaw getting in to make the first sack on the first play.
Over Tony Baselli. And that's pretty amazing to start off the game that way. That's making a statement what the defensive line for the Tampa Bay Bucks have to do. Baselli's only given up a half a sack so far this year. Reagan Upshaw's in there playing, actually a guy with not big numbers.
Taylor the lone setback on 2nd and 14. And he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of about another half yard at least. Warren Sapp this time.
Stopped by Warren Sapp.
Defensively, Upshaw and Sapp on that side. Brad Culpepper on the nose. Tyoka Jackson the other end. Derek Brooks, Hardy Nickerson, and Jeff Gooch active and quick linebackers. Brian Kelly, the rookie, gets the start for the injured Anthony Parker. Mincy and Lynch returning. Lynch returning from a back problem that came as he actually suffered a head injury, but it affected nerves in his back. He's playing today. Brunell, and almost a fingertip grab by McCardell, but incomplete. And the Jaguars will have to punt.
Keenan McCardell getting up slow. Now you see him. He's holding that shoulder. He had a hurt shoulder. He's been banged up. You can see as he was coming down on that thing, that's affected him.
Well, if he can't go, it will be Reggie Barlow coming in to replace him. Barlow got the start last week.
Number 81, Green.
Brian Barker will kick from the 11-yard line. Jaquez Green standing at the 26-yard line, awaiting it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good kick from Barker, backing him up to the 14-yard line. Good move with a flag down. Green has running room. Just tripped up at the 40-yard line, falling out to the 44. A 61-yard punt, a 30-yard return, but as we said, a flag. They may bring it back.
Ronnie, it looks like they're going to be calling that blocking the back.
Yeah, and they missed that one early on. And you got one right here, Bill. And really, talking to Tony Dungy, this is an area where they had to win. They got to win on special teams.
Illegal block in the back. 31 on the return team.
Watch
on the
his
run
head.
back.
See if his
That's
head
the
gets
distance to the goal. First down.
Hey, that was a good call.
Floyd Young, number 31, erasing the good return, and instead the Bucs will have to start from their 8-yard line.
Joe Marciano, the special teams coach, can't be happy with that. You have a field position. It's a game of field position. You have a chance to do something with a big return, and it's nullified.
Jaguar crowd comes alive for its defense. Warwick Dunn eludes the first tackler. In the backfield was Tony Brackens, but it turns out to be about a 1-yard gain. Offensively, Trent Dilfer, 27-32 as a starter. Paul Gruber, Jorge Diaz, Maybury, Middleton, Jason Odom, the front. Warwick Dunn with Mike Olstadt, the big guy. Riedel Anthony, Bert Emanuel, the wide receivers. Dave Moore, the tight end. Patrick Haight comes in. Double tight end formation. He joins Moore. 2nd and 9. And that is Warwick Dunn. Digs out for about 5. Gets to the 15-yard line. And defensively for Jacksonville, Brackens, Wynn, Yurkovich, and Smengi. Hardy, Schwartz, and Pop, the linebackers. And in the secondary, Aaron Beasley ready to go today. Dave Thomas, the other corner. Donovan Darius, a brilliant rookie out of Syracuse, with Travis Davis at the safeties. Three wide receivers in on 3rd down and 3 for Tampa Bay. Make it 4. Anthony in motion. They come out the left side to Emanuel, incomplete.
Ronnie, you know, we talked to Trent Dilfer yesterday, and he talked about 3rd and short and how he has to make the first downs in those situations. But he needs a little help there.
Yeah, he needs a lot of help, and Bert Emanuel right there has to make that play. You're talking about keeping that offense off the field, and that's Jacksonville.
Tommy Barnhart standing at his 1-yard line, averaging 41.3, but had a bad game last week. And he catches this one. Fair catch signaled. Reggie Barlow at the 36-yard line of Jacksonville. A 48-yard punt for Barnhart. And we'll be back to Jacksonville scoreless. Come on. We're scoreless back at Jacksonville.
Watch Reagan Upshaw at the top of your screen coming around Baselli. That doesn't happen often. Baselli has him walled off, and then he pushes through the inside shoulder. Normally, though, in Baselli's defense, the ball's gone by then. Those two know each other from college. Reagan Upshaw and Baselli.
That's why they got a relationship back from SC to Cal, that Cal-SC matchup.
That occurred in the first series, of course. It's 1st down here. The second offensive opportunity for the Jaguars, and that play stuffed with Fred Taylor, the rookie from Florida, has been brilliant. 611 yards in 5 games.
One of the things you try to do, I want you to watch right here, Warren Sapp. You have to cut the backside. They come through the guard to get up here, then right there, bang, he goes down. And that's what you have to do when you play Warren Sapp. Because of the speed of the defensive tackles, you've got to take away that backside pursuit. He knows he's going to get cut. He's used to seeing it.
Hardy Nickerson made the tackle for the 1-yard loss, 2nd and 11. Screen pass, Taylor. Taylor with a burst of speed, gets up to the 45. It'll be a yard short of the 1st down.
That's another thing you need to do. You talk about the speed of the defense, Ronnie. Watch these guys get upfield right here. Look at the depth. See where they are? They're upfield. They're rushing the passer back here, and then you throw it over their heads, and then you get the big guy downfield.
And what I like about that, Bill, is that what they're doing now is setting it up so Brunell doesn't have to run a lot. Soft passes, safe passes, right in front of him.
3 wide receivers on 3rd and a long yard. Brunell will throw, and that is off the fingertips of McCardell. Fans wanting a call against Rondé Barber, who had the coverage, number 20.
Well, it looked pretty close. He looked like he might have had a piece of him there. Here's number 20 right here. It's Rondé Barber. He gets the jam as he gets off the line of scrimmage. And well, Coach?
Interference. He got away with one right there. He handcuffed him before he was able to get up his arm, but he got away with one. And right in front of us, a referee just came hanging in front of us.
Barker's punt, fair catch signal at the 12-yard line by Carl Williams. 45-yard punt. And we'll be back. Still scoreless here in the 1st. Well, in our opening, we pointed out that top line there. The Bucs lost for the first time at home last week, but they're winless on the road, and they don't score very much, Phil.
Well, look at the 3rd down percentage. That's what they started off with. The 3rd down they didn't make.
Starting from their 12-yard line, they started on their 9, their first offensive series. Olstadt gets 5, maybe 6 on this carry. The big guy, 255-pounder from Purdue, and as you indicated, they just got to get this guy involved big time today.
Well, he's a big guy, but he's a big guy, too. Number 41. That's Lorenzo Neal. They bring him in the backfield. They call that the Rhino package. And here it is again, the big Rhino package. Lorenzo Neal is thick, and he will bowl you over as a lead blocker.
And they call it a 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3, Tampa Bay. Allstott again, and with help from the block by Neal, may have the first down. And yes, it is moving the chains. First down, Tampa Bay, their first down of this game.
This is one of their favorite plays. A down block here, and then they pull here, and they lead the fullback. That's the power O. Now, they get the block here, but the hole actually opens up inside here. See if it's a hole? Because the linebacker flew too far outside. That's good vision by Mike Allstott, knowing where the hole's going to open up.
Brian Schwartz, the man to trip him up. First down, Bucks at their own 24-yard line. Allstott again. Plows his way, tilling that soil out to the 30-yard line.
For Jacksonville, that's what they have to fear. You know, fear me. Fear Mike Allstott. If they don't stop that or find a way to stop that, it could be a long afternoon for them. Because if you do that, then you chew up the clock, and that's the A-train. That's the A-train thing we talked about. That's getting the ball rolling and then getting that push at the line of scrimmage. Now you have to bring up the safeties to help out.
Yeah, and what happens there also, Bill, is you're taking away that confidence. You're taking away that heart. You're neutralizing this home field advantage.
19 yards already for Allstott. And they go to him again. And this time the ball comes loose. Allstott was stripped right at the line of scrimmage. And the scrum to see who comes up with it, Jacksonville.
When you talk Tampa, one of the things that you got to think about, especially on, is that right there, protecting the football.
Donovan Darius hit his elbow. Now, we talked to some of the Jacksonville players, and they said if they can get a hit on Allstott's elbow, or the where he carries the ball, then all of a sudden his arm goes dead and the ball pops out. He loses feeling in his arm.
Okay.
Tony Brackens recovered it, and the Jaguars in great shape here at the 30 of Tampa Bay. 8:39 to go in the first. No score. And they go with the big fullback, Shelton. His first carry.
Back to the fumble. Donovan Darius came flying up there, and he stuck his helmet right on the elbow that was covering up the ball, that was over the top of the ball when Allstott had it. And then his whole, they talked about it, they said his whole arm goes dead. Donovan Darius, we talked to that young man. Quite an interesting guy. I really liked him.
Fred Taylor, the lone setback now, 2nd and 6. Give us to Taylor, trying to cut it back inside. Shows some strength on his part, but only got about a yard. He's pulled down by Culpepper, the nose tackle, number 77.
You know, that defense for Tampa Bay, they fly around. They have speed, and it's a different defense when John Lynch is back there. They found that out last week when they didn't have him due to injury, the concussion he suffered. They found out last week how vital he is to this defense.
Shelton back in now as the lone setback. 3 wide receivers. Brunell connects, first down, and breaking in is Jimmy Smith to the 5-yard line.
That's the route that Mark Brunell talked about beating cover 2, attacking the linebackers underneath, spreading them out, and running a speed in. And that's what you got to do. You run a 2 deep, as you can see right there. Now you run underneath, and you buy time to open up the middle of the field. Great execution.
Well, you get McCardell down there to stretch the field a little bit, and that takes the safeties deep. And then he come underneath with Smith, and that's exactly what Brunell was talking about. He'll take the underneath stuff. He's not picky. He doesn't have to go deep.
First and goal from the 6 of Tampa Bay. Taylor cuts it back. Taylor, touchdown. Fred Taylor, the rookie from Florida. Last week, 118 yards against Cincinnati. And he has the opening score here from 6 yards out. What a find for Taylor, their number 1 pick, their first-round pick this year. After James Stewart, the starter, went down with a knee injury for the season. Taylor has just stepped right in and rolled up 611 yards coming into the game. Hollis has the point after, and the home team Jaguars on top, 7-0.
You can ill afford to turn the ball over on the road. It turns into points.
Fourth all-time leading rusher at Florida, making his mark in the pros as a rookie. Fred Taylor, 6 yards for the score. 30-yard drive following the fumble recovery by Brackens. 4 plays it took to get the Jags into the end zone. Pittsburgh losers earlier to Tennessee. Jacksonville plays at Pittsburgh next week. This is Riddell Anthony from the 5. Anthony gets out to the 27-yard line. 24-yard return.
We talk about that fumble again. I want you to watch Donovan Darius, number 20. Watch him right here. Watch where his helmet goes on the elbow of the ball hand. And that's exactly what they talked about. They said his feeling goes dead. And that turns into points. You get the turnover, and then watch right here.
And this is all Fred Taylor right here, Bill.
Yeah, that's painful for a defensive lineman. You're in the backfield. You see it. It's right in front of you. Whoops.
First down, Bucks from their own 27-yard line. Tight end Dave Moore makes a strong side right. The pass out that side is too high from Dilfer, intended for Jaquez Green.
Yeah, you talked about that fumble also, and that's one area Jacksonville has been exceptionally well at. They're now +8 in the takeaway giveaway ratio, which is tied for the lead in the NFL. And it's also an area that over the years, Tampa Bay has been really good at. Every place Tony Dungy's been, he's been good at it. Not this year, though. Tampa Bay is now -7. That's normally not a Tony Dungy team.
Warwick Dunn in the eye behind Allstott. Again, Moore makes a strong side right. And they give it to Warwick Dunn. Dunn, the speedster, shakes tackles and gets all the way out to the 44-yard line. Warwick Dunn pulled down from behind by Fernando Smith after a 17-yard pickup.
A poor man's Barry Sanders. That's Warwick Dunn. He's in there. He's same things, same size, same kind of footwork. Watch him. He's slippery.
Yeah, he's slippery, but what he gives you, Bill, is that big playability. And really, he's the only big play threat on this football team other than Riddell Anthony.
Tony Dungy wondering whether he was big enough, strong enough to carry the load. And he has shown that he certainly is. That time he picks his way for about 3 with nowhere to go. Dungy said he doesn't really take many good hits. He's amazed me with his strength and how many times he comes out of the pile, as we saw in the previous play.
And that's hard as a defense to adjust to, because you got the downhill pound of the Allstott, then you come back to the next series and you get the quickness and elusiveness of work done.
So you mean you go from the Rhino to the Flea?
Yeah,
and that's tough to deal with.
Yeah, you get mentally, it's tough to zone in on what you're going to get and how you have to defend it.
Second and a long 8 for Tampa Bay. This is Allstott. Allstott covering up the ball that time for sure and gets close to the first down yardage.
Then there's the Rhino. You go Rhino, Flea, and then there's the Rhino. And a heck of a block by George Diaz. Jorge. Watch here. Watch Diaz come down right here and sustain this wall and then get up on the linebacker. Bang. There he is right there, getting that push, sealing that whole thing off.
And the Flea made an excellent block there. He got into Bryce Pop and was able to screen him out.
They're going to measure this one. Diaz from Texas A&M Kingsville, one of 3 players from that school on the Bucs roster of Colombian heritage.
A smidgen.
Jorge Diaz, and it looks like it is just that much short.
Jorge Diaz. Now, he was blocking down on Jose White. So it's Jorge versus Jose. And he's lucky he didn't get an Ole, because then he would have been in the backfield.
Well, it just seems every year more and more players of Spanish heritage in one connection or another coming into the National Football League, adding a little more international dimension. Third and a couple of inches. 9 rushes for Tampa Bay. They're doing what they want to do. They, of course, gave up the fumble. Dilfer dive.
That just went to 10.
And he has the first down.
That's 10 rushes now. And that's what we talked about. That's really Tampa Bay Bucs' strength. Run the football. And, you know, you going back to the roots. Dance with the girl that brought you. They know what favors them, and they know what their flavor is.
And that right there, as you can see, that was the face mask. He changed his face mask this week because he said that the other face mask, which was Terry Bradshaw's face mask, he had to remove it because he wanted to take care of himself and protect himself.
53 rushing yards for the Buccaneers. And they have the ball in Jacksonville territory at the 46-yard line. Changing up at the line of scrimmage. Dilfer under pressure from Pop. Shakes it off, downfield, incomplete. Intended for Bert Emanuel.
He had what he wanted. He made the right check. He just didn't have the accuracy, and that's been a problem, I think, for Trent Dilfer for some time.
Incomplete.
He had to contend with Pop as well.
Oh, heck yeah, he felt the pressure, but you play quarterback in the NFL, you're going to get pressure.
But this is a chance right here, Bill, where you separate yourself. He talked about himself being like Bob Greasy. Maybe not throwing a lot of passes, but being intelligent and making great decisions. Right there, you got to also deliver the ball.
2nd and 10. Warwick Dunn hit behind the line. Battles hard to get over the line of scrimmage and got about a half a yard. Schwartz and Pritchett are the men to pull him down. Schwartz diving in to trip him up, and the big man Pritchett making sure he got no farther. Former Detroit Lion.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player. Well, we'll watch him right here. Look at his side. It's hips. Watch his hips. He's got some big hips, and he's able to stuff that double team up and then come off the block. And that's where his power is. They really like this kid a lot, Kelvin Pritchett.
Now the Bucs down 7-0, looking for a big play here on 3rd down. Something also Dilfer talked about. You need to make these. 4th from the pocket, shakes off a tackler. Downfield, and it's complete.
Well, look, Tom Coughlin's on the sidelines yelling at the official saying he was over the line.
Over the line. Yeah, Carl Williams made the grab, a 26-yarder. I was watching that same thing. It was close, but I believe he was legal. Have a look.
Good awareness of where the line of scrimmage was. He pulls up there, and he's just shy of the line of scrimmage. Good awareness by Dilfer.
But great awareness by Carl Williams here. He stays alive. He sees that his quarterback's in trouble. He tries to find a way to get open, and then he makes an excellent catch.
Boy, that was an excellent catch, getting inside Beasley. So the Bucs driving at the 20. Warwick Dunn, nowhere to go. Lost a yard on the play. Slicing through was Joel Smengi, big number 99, the free agent acquired back in '95 from the Saints.
There goes the stands. Smengi, they yell.
He's having quite a year. 5.5 sacks to lead the team in that category. 41 tackles, leading the down linemen.
You know, a guy that just keeps going after it, kind of exemplifies everything that Tom Coughlin is. Hard worker. You know, he's in there because of Lageman's injury, actually. That's why he's getting so much playing time.
Lageman on injured reserve, gone for the year. 2nd and 11. Warwick Dunn picks his way down to close to the 16-yard line. Met there by Dave Thomas, the cornerback, number 41.
Number 58, Brian Schwartz.
It's going to leave them 3rd down. Another opportunity for Dilfer to make a big 3rd down play, as he did moments ago.
Mike Shula right there, the offensive coordinator. This is where they have to be effective in the red zone. They've had problems down here, scoring points, turning the ball over.
3 wide receivers in. Carl Williams joining Emmanuel and Riddell. Dunn in the backfield. To the corner, incomplete. Intended for Bert Emanuel.
I think that's really where Dilfer struggles. When his numbers called, when you run the ball and your number's called and it's time for you to deliver, he's talked about it. He's got to be that guy that delivers. He says he doesn't care if he only throws 20 passes in a game, just as long as he keeps winning and he gets the things done. When it's time to get it done, he's got to get it done.
Michael Houston attempting a 34-yard field goal. He's 11 of 14 on the year. And he has that. So the Buccaneers on the board. 1:11 remaining first quarter here in Jacksonville. The Jaguars 7, the Buccaneers 3. Back at Alltel Stadium here in Jacksonville, Florida. Under cloudy skies this afternoon. The Bucs have just scored on a 34-yard field goal. They trail 7-3. Time winding down first quarter. Logan from near the goal line. Logan gets out to the 23-yard line.
Jim, cloudy. It's dusk. It's 4:45.
Well, there's still some clouds. We'll be right back in a moment.
First and 10 Jaguars on the 20.
You can see the disappointment look on Trent Dilfer's face. That's because on the last third down, Ronnie, take a look at here. This is just a terribly thrown ball.
Yeah, but look up here, Bill, right over in this area, right there.
Got a man open up top, and then a terrible thrown ball down the bottom. And you're talking about making plays. That's when you got to make plays.
Yeah, especially right here. You got a guy looking for the ball. He expects the ball, and no pressure at all. You have to be patient. You got to sit in there, and you can't throw it early.
So Jacksonville with the ball at their 23-yard line. Fred Taylor the setback. They lead 7-3. 1 minute remaining first quarter. Taylor gets a couple before he swarmed under. The only upside on that for the Bucs was that they took 5:36 off the clock. Houston's 34-yard field goal, getting them to within 4 here as we are about done in the first period. 45 seconds and counting down. So it was a kind of drive they wanted, but of course they would have preferred 7 points to 3. Second down and 7 for the Jaguars. One setback, slot formation to the right. And they give it to Taylor on a draw play. Taylor, that first to speed, has a first down to the 35-yard line.
If you're going to run the draw play, Tim, the guy you want to go at is Warren Sapp. Because when you get in a situation when it's long yardage, he's going to take that pass rush, and he gets wide on his pass rush. He gets back up in here, and then they run the draw right where he was. See how wide he gets? And it's right up underneath it. You study film, and you know the tendencies. You know what you're going to get. It's second long yardage. You know Warren Sapp's going to rush the passer.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Jaguars 7, the Buccaneers 3. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these words and a message from your local Fox station. Dungy looking for more consistency from his team. So that's been the problem this season, represented game-wise by a victory over Minnesota and then a loss last week. And hoping for consistency through the game. And he has had the kind of running attack he's wanted. Trailing 7-3 here. Starting the second quarter. That is Mitchell complete for about a 6-yard pickup. Let's get an NFL update from James Brown.
Jimmy, Ronnie, and Bill, take a look at Brett Favre's second fastest, the 200 career touchdowns behind only Dan Marino. That one to Tyrone Davis. Green Bay on top of the Giants at the Meadowlands. Back in the first. Back to Tim, Ronnie, and Bill.
Thank you, JB. Second and 4 here for the Jaguars, leading 7-3 over the Bucs. Give it to Taylor. Fred Taylor has a first down and then some. Brian Kelly, the rookie cornerback out of USC, made the tackle.
Ronnie, you're going to be disappointed in this. Charles Mincy, you get up there and you get 8 men up in the line of scrimmage. And you get up and you got to make the play. The safety's got to come in there and make the play. He was in the backfield. He was right there at the line of scrimmage to meet Taylor, and he missed him.
Shelton shifting over to the right side in that offset eye. Brunell throws the ball to Shelton, and he can't hold on. Damon Shelton, the ball a little behind him. He spun around. There's a guy out of Sacramento State. Not exactly a football factory, but he is 251 pounds, and Tom Coughlin loves him.
Yeah, he's a rock. But here's another rock. And look at them fighting in there. The two of them, the two best.
I like that kid. I like the way he plays the game and the intensity he plays with and what he brings.
3 wide receivers here on second down for the Jaguars. Inside handoff. That's to the big fullback, Shelton. And Shelton gets about 3.
That time he took a pass rush to the outside and he came back in underneath. I mean, he never stops. The way the kid plays, he's one of the best. And he lost his helmet up in Green Bay too. And he just keeps going. The guy, and then last week this big hit. Cost him a little bit of money, but it's an effort. He's not going to stop. He's not going to quit on you. He's all about intensity, and I think that's what you need to play that position. One of my favorites.
He's got a great attitude, and it's infectious. He's the leader on that team. 3rd and 7. Brunell perfectly thrown to the tight end. That is Mitchell, and Mitchell gets down to the 26-yard line. 24-yard gain. Mitchell's 22nd catch of the season.
Bill, where do you beat people in too deep? You try to beat them underneath. You try to beat them with the tight end. And right there, Pete Mitchell does an excellent job of finding the hole, and that's what you have to do. But you got to have a quarterback that understands that, how to get in the middle, how to work the linebackers.
Well, they tried to disguise coverage there, and they took the safety and they ran him outside to help out on the 3 wide receiver set and left the middle of the field open.
First down, Jaguars coming to the left side this time, and that's complete to Jimmy Smith. Right at the sideline. A pickup of close to first down yardage.
And Warren Sapp right there took a little shot there.
Flag down. Ball is gone, and Warren just kind of gives him a gentle little shoulder, but that was well after the ball was away, so a foolish penalty there if it's against
foul,
Sapp.
Roughing the passer, 99 defense, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, here's what happened last week. As much as you can like him, sometimes he gets himself into some trouble. Coming in hard there, helmet to helmet, on McNair, the Tennessee quarterback. And that cost him $7,500. He's appealing that one.
Well, you like to get hits on the quarterback, but you like to do it within the guidelines and constraints of the rules of the game.
And you don't want to bump him down.
First down, Jaguars inside the 10. Gone. Complete to the tight end, Mitchell, and Mitchell out at the 2-yard line. Jaguars threatening again. Mincy knocked him out.
Pete Mitchell's interesting to watch because they can use him in so many ways. Here's a tight end. Now he's split out. He's split off the line of scrimmage. They motion him a lot to try to see what the coverage is going to be. That time, Mincy, the free safety, was matched up on him, and he creates a lot of problems. Not only can he catch the ball, he stretches the field.
He's done well against Tampa Bay, as you can see in their only other meeting. This is just the second meeting between the two teams. 2nd and goal, Jaguars. Long count by Brunell. Taylor trying to get wide, and he's in. Touchdown. Two for Taylor. The Florida rookie. Such an impressive young guy.
As you can see there, the fans understand who to bow to.
In Belle Glade, Florida, down in the swamps of the Everglades, and just literally pulled himself out of that area to become a football star. Great star at the University of Florida, and a fine young man. And they love him here, coming in for the injured James Stewart and taking over that running back position with Stewart gone for the year. He's just been great in these last 5 games. Hollis for the point after. And Jacksonville opens their lead to 14-3 here early in the 2nd quarter at Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville. We're looking at Fred Taylor. He's got 2 touchdowns already. This team has fallen in love with him. They like his confidence and yet his humility all mixed together, and quite a package of football player. Hollis's kickoff. Del Anthony takes it at the 5 for Tampa Bay. Anthony just tripped up as he cut it back. Gets to the 25-yard line. Good coverage, and it was Will Moore who pulled him down. 21 yards on the return.
Yeah, Brian Kelly, when you're playing on the outside on a touchdown right here, you'll see him out here. And what you have to do is you can't take the false step inside. You have to stay outside. Right there, he takes the false step inside. Now the fullback's able to get onto his body, and Fred Taylor's able to get outside. Use your inside guys to help you out.
3 receptions by Pete Mitchell on that scoring drive. Touchdown by Taylor. 77 yards in 10 plays, 4:33 off the clock. And Warwick Dunn hit behind the line of scrimmage.
Donovan Darius,
that rookie safety coming up. First round pick from Syracuse, and Talk about loving Taylor, they love him too.
Well, they got Taylor on offense, and on defense, they have Donovan Darius. And two young guys, and they got that from the trade. Here he is right here. See him hovering up around the line of scrimmage. They got that when they traded Rob Johnson to Buffalo. They were able to get 2 draft choices in the first round due to that trade alone. Tom Coughlin got accustomed in '95 to getting all those draft choices. He wanted some more. These guys are good ones.
2nd and 11. Screen pass to Allstott. Allstott, with a little help from his own man, giving him a shot from behind, picks up a few more. That was Middleton who hit him in the back and drove him forward. So it turns into about a 6-yard pickup. Now they're going to mark it 5 for Allstott.
You know, Jacksonville, we talked about them getting off to quick starts. Ever since the Denver game, they went up to Denver. They really made an emphasis on getting quick starts. Give tempo and started at practice, and they installed a game clock at practice, a 40-second clock. And they want everybody at the pace of everything to be picked up. And they're off to another quick start here.
Crowd alive here, exhorting their defense. Dilfer. Work done out of the backfield. First down, Bucks to the 38-yard line. Kevin Hardy on the tackle, the linebacker, number 51.
Well, that time it was all up front. The guys gave Dilfer time, and the play developed. Watch the guys up front here. They know it's 3rd and long, and they buy him time.
And Hardy right there, you got to close up on him. When you got a fast, quick guy, you want to get your hands up on him. Right there, he gives him some room. Dunn was able to get to the outside.
The Rhino backfield in. Lorenzo Neal joining Allstott. Dilfer's now 2 of 6 passing.
That's done.
They've got Neal blocking, but Dunn behind him in the tailback spot. And the pass out, nicely timed. First down, no, short of the first down. Jaquez Green makes the catch.
Dilfer's pass complete to number 81, Jaguars Green.
Watch again. Watch the guys up front.
Makes the stop.
Bryce Pop comes on the outside, and Neal picks him up. Look how much time and room Dilfer has. When no one's around him, that's when he's comfortable. But in this league, you're going to get pressure. And the sack numbers, they only have 17 sacks, quarterback sacks. Them being the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're not a big sack team. They try to create some pressure, but they never rush more than 5 players.
2nd and 2. Warwick Dunn has the first down, spins his way for a few more, and into Jacksonville territory. They'll mark it at about the 48-yard line. Allstott comes back in. And does big tight end John Davis, number 80. Mandel Smith made the tackle on Dunn.
Winning the clock is the key to this game. Winning the clock, and right now they're trying to establish some time off the clock. Establish their tempo with the offense.
And they took 5:36 off on their drive that led to the Houston field goal. Double tight end formation. Dilfer going deep. He's got a man open. Nice catch by Anthony. Riddell Anthony fights to the end zone. Touchdown.
Great play calling. You grind it out. You have the Rhino package. You have Neal come in. Then you get Allstott, and you're done. And then you have the 2 tight end set. The power set. You think they're going to bang it. Allstott's alone in the backfield. Play action. You go up top. And that's what's confusing the safeties. You get up there, you're thinking run, 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 and they're going to try to take advantage of you. Excellent job in play calling and excellent execution.
47-yard touchdown play from Dilfer to Riddell Anthony, their 2nd-year man out of Florida. Teammate of the Jaguars, Fred Taylor, one of his best pals. In fact, they talk once a week. And Anthony, after Taylor has scored twice for Jacksonville, Anthony replies for the Buccaneers. Houston with a point after. And he's got it. Flag down on the play. Blown right after the kick was through.
Usually when they throw that, they get the holding call, and it's usually in the end. The wingman, you have to be careful in there in the wingman, how you use your hands. It's so important where you place them. You're responsible for 2 players.
82 on the kicking team.
That's a
10-yard penalty, free kick.
On the special team unit, backing it up now for Houston.
That's the wingman.
Patrick Hape, and he had come in on that touchdown play with a double tight end look, showing a run formation with Davis. And as you point out, Bill, that worked effectively. They had Anthony open, and Dilfer hit it. On the 20-yard line, Houston's point after is good again, but he only gets 1 point for that. And so it is 14-10. Jaguars with a pair of touchdowns by Taylor, and then his old buddy Riddell Anthony replies for the Bucs.
I'll tell you, you talk about the safety position. We talked about young Donovan Darius. You get nose, you start looking in the kitchen, and you come up there to support the run, and you get caught.
Longest touchdown catch by sophomore Riddell Anthony. This is Reggie Barlow turning Houston's kickoff. Flags are thrown, and he gets out to the 25-yard line, a 21-yard return.
Reggie Barlow on the return.
For Barlow of Jacksonville. And we have a holding call against the receiving team is the signal from Bernie Kukar, our referee, talking to Tony Dungy about what seems to be a higher number of flags on these kickoff return plays. There's another one.
Holding 23 on the receiving team, on the run back, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Look, Coughlin's over there.
Cordell Taylor, reserve defensive back, and Bowie goes limping off for Tampa Bay. Backup safety.
Tom Coughlin went over and was looking. Watch the safety right here, first of all. That's Donovan Darius. He gets caught looking inside.
And then Beasley, the corner on the outside, also stumbled because he couldn't find the receiver.
So the Jaguars from their 15. This is the deepest they've had to start a series in the game so far. They throw the screen pass to Taylor. A flag is downfield as Taylor gets close to first down yardage. Here's to have it, an 11-yard gain.
A lot of times when they throw that flag down there on a screenplay, you have to be careful. Or they're going
Offensive interference, the signal against the Jaguars.
Pass interference, 88 offense. Half the distance to the goal, still first down.
Tight end Damon Jones.
That's him right here. He gets down there. See what he does? He starts blocking right away while the ball's being thrown. He starts his block while the ball is still being thrown. And it's a timing issue, really. I mean, he's down there, he's trying to lead up on the strong safety Lynch and get out there to block because you scream, but the ball hadn't been thrown yet.
Second-year man from Southern Illinois, and that backs it up to a 1st and 18. Taylor hit right at the line of scrimmage. Battle for a yard or two. Donnie Abraham, the cornerback, number 21, came up to get him. Abraham playing with a bad knee, missed the last 3 games.
Bill, you talked about this guy, that's John Lynch, being able to fill in, and really it gives this team more confidence. They need a Lynch in there because what it does, it makes everybody better on the run defense. He's able to step up and find the gap. He understands where to fit in when you have this gap defense.
Lynch coming off an injury that kept him out last week. Bucs have been banged up in the secondary. On second down, Brunell completes the pass out the right side. That is Jimmy Smith getting back over the original line of scrimmage to about the 16-yard line.
It's got to be nice for Brunell just to sit back there, sit back there, and then find somebody. And the receiver, as you know, Bill, he was able to work about 3 different areas there.
Well, you can do that when you have A kickers incorporated. And the A kickers are Baselli and Leon Searcy. They'll kick some A.
Brunell 7 of 10, and a 3rd and 1. Big fullback Damon Shutt Malone setback, and now a little mixed up. Brunell has to call timeout. With 5:43 remaining in the first half, the Jaguars leading 14-10. World Cup of Golf, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, man, I didn't know you were an avid golfer. I could have sworn I saw you in there, Bill.
Golf fan. I like to see how it's done because I surely can't do it.
Jags have picked up 2 penalties on this drive. They were penalty-free up to that point in the game, and then had to take the timeout. Shotgun formation on 3rd and 9. Brunell is 4 for 4 on this series. That time he's forced to chuck one out of bounds. Good coverage downfield. When the pressure came, he released the ball.
I knew that was you right there.
I appear anywhere. You never know exactly where I'm going to be at times, Ronnie. I can show up anywhere.
Well, I want to see you make it to New Zealand and back in time for the game. See if you can pull that off.
You might lose me down under.
Barker just got it away from the 6-yard line. Jaquez Green back at the 25 of Tampa Bay. He's got some running room with a good block, and then runs into traffic at the 38-yard line. 60-yard punt, a 22-yard return.
Let me tell you how good of a quarterback Mark Brunell is. Look at these numbers of quarterbacks, and this is the years of experience. Obviously, 10-plus years, you get a higher rating because you've been around and you're knowledgeable, and we're seeing that. But look at 4 to 6 years, and look at the average quarterback rating. And then Mark Brunell, you take a look at his rating. 6 years, 99.7, way ahead of the pace. And it's just numbers that verify what he is and how good of a player he is at such a young age.
Brent Dilfer, the Bucs quarterback, trying to get it going here now as they are just 4 back in good field position to start. That is Allstott getting a couple over the 40-yard line.
The A-train.
At the 40-yard line.
Brent Dilfer,
Second down and 9.
the Tampa Bay Bucs quarterback.
A little bit different scenario.
But it's a different quarterback, and I think he realizes that he's not going to be the quarterback of the 90s, which those guys throw the ball. He's a passer. He's learning to be a quarterback of maybe the 70s, like a Greasy, like a Bradshaw, where you're not going to throw the ball a lot.
Yeah, there's a Rhino package, Jimmy.
2nd and 8. The Rhinos are in there. Allstott and Neal, along with the tight end, the big guy Davis, and this is Allstott. Not much good job by the defensive front.
Now, Allstott, to me, he's the tow truck of NFL fullbacks. He can run over you, and he can run through you, but he'd rather drag you. And that's what he does. Watch him. He has people hanging on him, running around his legs. He's going to drag you for a couple. He's just pulling. We've seen him do it over the years. Power guy, it doesn't matter. If people hanging on his back, around his legs, he's just going to keep going.
That was Jose White who hauled him down eventually as Jaguars defensively use all of their defensive linemen over the course of the game. Everybody gets to play. They have 10 all together. They've got 2 inactive today. On 3rd down, Dilfer stands in there and delivers upfield. It's tipped away. A hand on it from Dave Thomas.
Now, many of you might think that was pass interference, but the reason it wasn't pass interference is because the ball was batted.
And it was an excellent play by Dave Thomas. He was able to get him, find the zone. You got to be a guy that can react and see the ball. And right there, he came off his guy and got his hand up.
As intended for Bert Emanuel, never got there. Barnhart's punt. Barlow out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. A 49-yard punt. Barnhart kicking well today after struggling last week. A 6-yard return by Barlow. Well, next week on Fox NFL Sunday, 2 division rivals will meet. Barry Sanders and the Lions will be in Tampa to take on Trent Dilfer and the Bucs, plus other regional action. Coverage begins with a pregame show live from Minneapolis at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, right here on Fox.
First down, Jaguars. Up on 14.
Earlier today, a couple of interesting scores. Of course, Tennessee helping Jacksonville to win over Pittsburgh. And
Tennessee
then Atlanta.
Titans.
Yeah.
Tennessee Titans.
That's right. Starting next year, that name official. And Atlanta knocking off San Francisco.
The New York Titans.
Yeah, the New York Titans, the old AFL, had that one first. That's Taylor digging for about 6 yards. Up to 19.
Talk about A Kickers Inc. When they run the ball, they like to run it behind Baselli. He gets some push. Watch him right here. Watch the push they get, and down block. He's just a wall. He just walls off his man. He lets you go where you want to go, and then he's going to hold you there, keep you there. Not holding in the sense of grabbing, but keep you from the play.
2nd and 6 with 3:11 to go in the half. Taylor. Only about a yard for Fred Taylor. He's got 2 touchdowns in this first half.
You know, since the turnover early and the points they scored, and then that one long drive by Jacksonville, Jacksonville hasn't done much when they've gotten the ball. And that's kind of almost been their trend the last couple of weeks. You know, they get up early and then they kind of coast, but I don't think this is a coast game.
3 wide receivers set on 3rd and 5. Barlow joining McCardell and Smith. They try to get the screen. It was nearly picked off.
Hardy Nickerson. Some great awareness.
And White was able to get his hands up on this.
Here's Hardy.
And there's White. And that's the play that Hardy talked to me about before the game. He said, Ronnie, I got to come up with the big play, and that one slips right off his hand.
So brings up the punting situation. Again, another near block. That's twice now, the last 2. Barker got it off, and it's Green. Green picking his way almost to midfield. Good return for Jaquez Green.
The field position,
yard punt.
The field position is swinging in the favor of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay sticking to what they do. You know, they got behind early and they could have forced some things and tried to, but they didn't. They've been patient. They get the runs. They hammer it with the A train. They're doing some things, and then they pop one. And that's patience, and that's a credit to Shula and to Dilfer.
Yeah, and what you do is when you got a team that's explosive, a team that wants to get out front, you stay the course. You stay with your game plan, Bill. As you know, in a race, it's 4 quarters, not the first quarter.
Warwick done the lone setback.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
3 wide receivers. In and out of the hands and almost picked off.
In and out of 4 hands.
That was Emmanuel who couldn't hold on, and then it was Donovan Darius who nearly had the pick.
Watch this little slant right here.
And that's 2 balls that Trent Dilfer has put right on Bert Emanuel's hands that he hasn't been able to come up with.
Early on the first drive, and then this one here. And, of course, last week, if you remember, he had 4 drops.
And last week he also had a concussion, which he says he is completely over, but he has yet to make a catch today. But he knew he had a concussion when he couldn't find his way to the huddle after hitting the ground down in Tampa Bay. That's Warwick Dunn squirting out. And Dunn showing that power that has amazed Tony Dungy for a little guy as a first down to the 39.
Look at this kicking going on down here.
A little after the play action, and we'll be back in Jacksonville in a moment. Like father, like son, offensive coordinator Mike Shula on the right of your screen for the Bucs. Don Shula, you ought to have a headset on. It doesn't look right, you know, without former Miami coach of great distinction. First down, Dilfer, too high, incomplete. Intended for Riddell.
Trent Dilfer's pass intended for number 85, Brunell Anthony. Aaron Beasley defensively.
Yeah, I'm sure when
Riddell Anthony just couldn't. He needed a ladder on that one, I'm afraid.
Sure, when Mike Shula looks down at the Tampa Bay Bucs, he has to see a little bit of his 70s Dolphins team. And with Kick and Zonka and those guys.
Paul Warfield.
And a quarterback who did the same. You hand the ball off and you pick your spots.
Delta 5 of 12. Go to the run. Warwick Dunn cuts it outside. Warwick Dunn, 1 man to beat. Can't get by him. He's pushed out by Dave Thomas.
And that's Mercury Morris.
25-yard gain. You have to be old enough to remember those guys, everybody.
I mentioned it before. I mentioned a poor man's Barry Sanders. Watch these guys here. But they've got a chance. Boom. And then there's nothing. Look, nothing. He's a squirmer. He gets in there and he squirms through, and if he gets a seam, he can pop out of there. It's trouble.
They mark him out at the 15, a 24-yard gain and a first down, Buccaneers. Down by 4, 1:48 to go, first half.
Yeah.
Riddell Anthony in motion behind the ball. Warwick Dunn straight ahead. What a burst. And he may have a first down at the 5, depending on the spot. Travis Davis got him there.
2 times now I've seen Warwick Dunn squirt through there, and 2 times these 3 guys have done a nice job right in there. Watch Mayberry on Yurkovich right here. Has a piece of them enough, and then the seal right there by Middleton. And they've been left on the ground. When your defensive linemen are on the ground, you can't make plays.
Now you can see that leg get twisted, however. Watch this here. And Dunn getting some attention as he's bent back over, tacklers underneath him. Immediately took his helmet off. What a blow that would be if Warwick Dunn is hurt.
And the team gets charged with a timeout because you're under 2 minutes.
That is Tony Dungy all the way out on the field to check on Dunn, and boy, is he happy to see him standing up.
And you wonder why, and they know it's an injury, obviously, but you have to keep the rule in effect because a player could go down there and lay down and to stop the clock, Ronnie, and then you could get an extra play out of it and have time to regroup. So they have to charge the timeout when you have an injured player on the field under 2 minutes of the half or the game.
So Warwick Dunn, greeted by his teammates, all with the sighs of relief, no doubt. And they are just short of the first down by can't be more than about the length of the football at the 5-yard line. It'll be second.
I think the biggest sigh of relief came from Tony Dungy.
Right.
I heard it up here. Because your breakaway threat, you talked about it earlier, he's on the team, on that offense. He's really the only guy that has that ability to take it to the house.
Allstott behind Lorenzo Neal. The Rhino package here, second and short, 1:32 to go. Allstott batters his way down close to the 1-yard line. Now, if he was a Rhino, a true Rhino, he'd have a horn there that would help him clear the way.
Well, he does.
Well, he's
Lorenzo Neal.
He's got 4 legs.
I mean, look at this. Look at this horn in front right here. Look at that.
Boom.
Did you see that?
He buries him and he just starts battering. Look. See?
Tim, do you understand the horn?
I sure do. I've been around those Rhinos.
It's a battering horn.
Yeah. First and goal.
The A-train.
From the 2. Bucks threatening to take the lead with 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Allstott this time has to be all on him. Great effort. Jaguars getting him behind the line.
Great second effort.
And he, with a second effort, got maybe a yard. Tampa Bay has rushed for 115 yards, just what they wanted to do.
That's a nice job by Hardy of taking on the lead block. Neal. Watch Hardy right here. Watch him take on the block and keep its ground. Neal doesn't get pushed that time, and Hardy stuffs the whole thing up. You have to have that push. The Rhinos got to get the push.
Timeout taken by the Bucks. 27 seconds left in the half. They're on the doorstep here with an opportunity to take the lead from the 7-2 Jacksonville Jaguars. As twilight truly settles over here, as the lights have been on for some time here at Alltel Stadium. Coming up on our Visa halftime report, JP and Terry will get you caught up in today's NFL scores and highlights and some exciting action today. Plus the Fox Sports sticker will have all the up-to-minute stats. All coming up on the Visa halftime report.
There's Warwick Dunn going in early to get that knee checked out.
Second and goal. A crowd alive here. 8th play of this drive. Bucks have been able to do what they wanted to do, and they've got a chance to take the lead as well.
Watch the tight end slip out here.
Touchdown. Good call there by Bill Ma's John Davis. The third-year tight end from Emporia State.
You knew it. I knew it.
The Jaguars didn't. And that's the thing. See, you have 2 touchdowns now off the Rhino package. Because you come up there with 2 tight ends, you get the big backs back there, you get them thinking, uh-oh, here they come. And the head of steam, pound it, and then bang. 2 touchdowns have come off the A-train and the run game.
Houston for the point after. Tampa Bay has the lead, 17-14, 24 seconds left, but a flag down. Twice now in the point after play.
And the same problem, holding.
Referee Bernie Kukar gets the word. Holding is the signal against the Bucks.
Well, they're holding both ways. They have holding against
Holding, 82
too.
on the kicking team. Holding, 92. Pull and shoot on the defensive team. We're going to re-kick. Penalties offset.
Pull and shoot. It sounds like there's some skeet going on down there. Pull. Shoot. Huh? What they're talking about, 92, is what happens is when you're shooting the gap, they'll take a guy, an offensive lineman, and try to pull him down so that it creates a little bit of a gap and they can shoot through.
Well, they called a phantom player on Jacksonville because there is no 92 out there, but nonetheless, they'll kick it over again from the same spot. Houston. More practice for him, and the score now is officially the Bucks 17 and the Jaguars 14. 24 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, you see you pound, you think it's coming, and then bang, just slip them out. Watch them slip out. Everybody's there to try to take them on. And again, the safety, Donovan Darius, is in there. The young guy, cost him on the first touchdown, sticking your nose in the backfield, wanting to come up and support and hit somebody. Watch, right here.
And that's what the Rhino does to you. Look at both these guys. Now he's looking back at the quarterback. You got to find your guy, and you got to cover him.
First career touchdown for John Davis. Free agent picked up last year from the New Orleans Saints. Pride of Emporia State. And a lead for Tampa Bay here at Alltel Stadium.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting second half, Bill, because last week Tampa gave up.
They're up 16-0.
Gave it up.
And then Eddie George came back and put it to him in the second half.
And then we talk about Jacksonville. On the other hand, they didn't do much in the second half.
Well, Jacksonville actually, except for the one drive they had, hasn't done much this half. They had a turnover. They scored off the Mike Allstott's fumble early in the game, and they put together one nice drive, and since then haven't really been productive offensively.
And last week, Jags were up 24-0, wound up winning 24-11, and they took Brunell out when he suffered that groin pull. Jamie Martin finished up. There's a short kickoff and dropped momentarily, but then covered by Todd Fordham, backup guard.
Every big man thinks that they can catch the ball, Bill. Every big man thinks that, and you can't do that.
See the number today. That's how you get it. See this package here? Look at it. These are tough yards right here. But this thing is setting up what is coming off of it. It's setting up the flea when Warwick Dunn gets in there, and it's also setting up the play-action pass, which has been effective for them in the 2 touchdowns.
22 seconds on the clock for Brunell and company at their own 27-yard line. Brunell gets it off. A completion to Mitchell, the tight end, Pete Mitchell.
He's the guy. I mean, he's been the most productive guy for Jacksonville thus far.
Mitchell, a 4-year man from Boston College. He played under Coach Coughlin up there. Tom Coughlin was coach at BC. 4th catch for Mitchell, 41 yards picked up, and it leaves 2nd and 4. Brunell flushed and just throws that one away as he is pursued by a Warren Sapp. Gives him a little pat on the butt. Congratulations for being fast enough to outrun me.
Jacksonville with still 2 timeouts left and won't get a chance to use them. All 2 of them with only 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, right there they were trying to go to a screen play to Shelton, and Shelton was covered by the Tampa Bay defense.
Now, that's complete. Again, Mitchell has the first down. 4 seconds left. Got to the Jacksonville 40 on the play. Hollis still not within range. They'll need one more play with only 4 seconds left. Not likely they're going to get 2 off to get close enough from Hollis. See what they can do here. They can get a pass out to the sideline, stop that clock, and give him a kick. And run to get deep enough to make it useful for him. Up, lets it fly deep downfield, and it is incomplete, intended for Jimmy Smith. well covered deep. Good job by the Bucs as time has expired. And the visiting Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead 17-14.
This Bureau.
Under the lights in Jacksonville at halftime, the visiting Tampa Bay Buccaneers hold a 3-point lead over the 7-2 Jacksonville Jaguars. The MetLife Blimp Snoopy 1 has teamed up with Fox Sports to provide you with an aerial view of today's game featuring the Bucs and the Jaguars. The MetLife Blimp typically cruises at a speed of 35 miles an hour and an altitude of 1,200 feet. Well, as television and computers come ever closer together, we've been inviting you to log on to foxsports.com and answer our You Call It question. Here it is for this week. How many field goals will the Buccaneers make in the second half? And this is a, what do you call it? A choice. A is 0, B is 1 to 2, C is 3 to 5, D is more than 5. You call it. Log on to foxsports.com and give us your input.
Actually, see, that's multiple choice.
Multiple choice.
Yeah. You always have a shot, but it's multiple choice.
It's difficult to make that choice there. More than 5? How many votes will go for more than 5 in the second half? That's what I'd like to know. But meanwhile, ask the pros. You can't answer that. Why are the Bucs struggling now with the same team they had last year? That's Ron and Kissimmee, Florida.
Well, you know, I think a lot of the thing is that, Ronnie, that we talked about it, they thought they could pass the ball downfield. They thought with Bert Emanuel, the acquisition there, and Riddell Anthony and Jacquez Green, they could force the ball downfield a little bit more. I think Dilfer thought he could get big chunks of yards. They're getting away from hammering it with the A-train.
That's right. You got to have that Rhino package, and really the Rhino package sets up everything, and that to me is why this team is struggling. They didn't go to this package early on.
Yeah, they didn't pound it enough because it really set everything up. As we saw in the first half, this play came off of the big package. You had the 2 tight ends. They play action to Allstott, and it brought the safety Donovan Darius up. Result was a touchdown. Then the same thing, play action again. Sucks up the safety, and then you slip the tight end, you slip him out, you slip him right through coverage, and touchdown. And that's really the emphasis, and that's what they've got to get back to and stay with. That's Buccaneer football.
Now, there's a guy who's making sure the defense is paying close attention, a former star of the Philadelphia Eagles, Herman Edwards, defensive backs coach of the Bucs. He was an outstanding player in a big play in 1978, November 19th.
Something the Eagles can do. And Pizarczyk fumbles the football. It's picked up by Herman Edwards.
Joe Pizarczyk, the unfortunate Giant quarterback. This was a huge game that led the Eagles into the playoffs with a victory over their arch rivals.
That guy right there, when I first came into the league, I watched all his films. I learned all his techniques. We had this read technique that the Philadelphia Eagles ran, and Herm Edwards, he was the model.
And his team will have the ball first. Riddell Anthony from a yard deep. Brings back Hollis' kickoff, and he is just collared there literally inside the 20 by Tom McManus, reserve linebacker. 19-yard return.
That's an area the Jaguars have really struggled with their coverage. That's an area they wanted to bolster. Take a look at the first half stat numbers, and that's the key right there. Right here leads to clock, and that leads to this. Because if you run the ball for the Bucs, you're chewing up the clock, and then you keep the offense of the Jaguars off the field. And there's the numbers to prove it.
Tony Dungy has done exactly what he wanted to in the first half here. Now he's looking for the consistency. That's what he's been talking about through a game and through a series of games, something they've been unable to achieve so far this season. And Warwick Dunn, who went to the locker room a little bit early after his knee appeared to be twisted down near the Jaguars goal line, has the ball on the first down of the second half.
Yeah, the flea, and we talked about this. He's the flea, the guy that can make people miss. And really, when you go to him, you look for the big play, Bill.
Yeah, he bruised the wing. They went into the locker room and got him a new wing, and the flea's back scatting around again.
He's up to 85 yards in this game. Second down and 4. And he's got running room with a good hole off tackle. First down, Buccaneers to the 33-yard line. Kevin Hardy, the linebacker, and Travis Davis, the safety, make the stop.
You know, the guys up front for the Buccaneers did an outstanding job, and they've been getting better. And I think it started back in the Minnesota game. They started getting movement. Watch the gel of these guys. Watch the reach on Middleton right here on Jurkovic. See, they get the push there, and they slide up on the backer. That's just enough to create a seam. And that's all you need is that little bit. when you have Warwick Dunn. You can see him grab his knee there at the end. And he's out, and now in comes the Rhino.
On first down, Allstott hit behind the line. And that was Brackens, the defensive end. And you see Dunn goes off limping. He is at the sideline. Whether that's the same problem or a different one, we'll try and determine for you.
Yeah, it looks like it's his foot.
Number 33.
You had the A train. You had the A train going that play. You had a train wreck in the backfield. And it came in the form of 90, Tony Bracken. Well, watch this play right here. 90 shoots a gap, and he gets there, and that's the way you stop the train. You take away his wheels.
Second and 11, two tight ends and Allstott, and they pass it out the right side. That's complete to Emmanuel.
That's his first. That's his first catch. Yeah, he dropped two earlier, and I remember last week at the end he had that concussion and wasn't catching balls. So it's important to get him back into the swing of things.
Yeah, it's very important to get him back in the swing of things. But right there, what it also does is it minimizes him being from third and long, and he has to make those type of catches to keep Trent Dilfer in a third and short area.
44 catches coming into the game for Emmanuel. The agent signee from the Falcons. Jerry Ellison makes his first appearance in the game.
And the crowd gets loud.
Third down. Dilfer has time, and that is picked up.
Gone.
Kevin Hardy, the linebacker, picks it off for the Jaguars and returns it to the 34-yard line of Tampa Bay. A flag down that'll be declined, holding against the Bucs.
I'll tell you, you sit and you watch the game.
73 offense. Penalty is declined. First down.
I sit here and I watch the game, Ronnie, and I'm seeing some things evolve nice, and then you see the stupid mistakes. You have an out over here. Jaquez Green over here runs it out. He's wide open. Now he throws right back in here. That's double coverage to the inside. The safety's sitting in there. Hardy has good coverage on him. You don't make those mistakes. It was a heck of a play by Kevin Hardy. Bad decision by Trent Dilfer.
Intended for Moore, the tight end, and Hardy gets the pick. They fake the flanker around and throw the screen for Taylor. Taylor inside the 20.
I want you to go back to the throw, because you can't turn the ball over ever and expect to win. Watch right here. You have an out right here. It's simple out. It moves the chains. Take it. Boom. Bang. Plant. It's there. Look at that. Perfect. Throw the out right there. Instead, he comes back to the middle of the field. Here's the safety sitting inside. It's almost like the same thing that happened last week, Ronnie, when he threw the ball in the middle of the field and didn't see the linebacker. It was an interception.
And that's what happens. When you throw in the inside, especially when you got man-to-man, Bill, it's very tough to thread the needle.
Brunell starts to take off. Ducks under a tackler and gets inside the 15, eluding Derek Brooks. And thereby not taking a big hit.
You talk about toughness, though. Here's a kid that we talked to early. That's Brunell, about playing hurt. And you can see right here, this is something that he doesn't want to do, but he steps up in the pocket, and he's able to avoid the rush, but get positive yards out of that situation.
Leaves 2nd and 4 at the 13-yard line of Tampa Bay, following the interception by Hardy. Taylor.
Lynch.
And it's Lynch coming up from the safety spot, number 47.
I've watched this kid, Bill, since he's come into the league. I watched him at Stanford. I love the way that this guy is able to fill in the hole and really play big. A lot of strong safeties in the National Football League don't know how to get big in the hole. Right there, he gives up his body, and he lets the defender run into his chest.
John Lynch, who missed last week's game with a head injury that actually wound up pinching the nerve in his back, so it was kind of head, neck, and back. He is in action here and comes up with a big play. Brunell forced to just throw that one away. Good charge from Brooks. And we've been informed that there is an ankle sprain injury to Warwick Dunn. Not sure whether he'll be able to return.
Obviously this game is far, far from over, but when you play the kind of football and your mentality of your game to play is the way the Tampa Bay Bucs does, you can't give up what is going to be 10 points off of turnovers.
Especially here in Jacksonville
on the road.
Hollis will attempt a 31-yard field goal. And And it is good. So we're tied at 17 early in the third. We're back at Alltel Stadium. Mike Hollis will kick it off after the tying field goal that he made from 31 yards out. 17-17. Tim Ryan, Bill Maas, Ronnie Lott here at Alltel Stadium under the lights. Adele Anthony returning for the Bucks. Stopped at about the 17-yard line. Dion Figures making a hit, an 18-yard return. And we'll be back in a moment. Bucks ball, but Warwick Dunn on the sideline. That's him just behind one of the training staff, now standing up, testing an injured ankle. We're not sure he'll get back.
Take a look here. It gets fall right there. What? Look at that. Oh.
And that was after he had suffered an apparent twisted knee right near the end of the first half. He went to the locker room early, only to come out, get back into action, and then suffer an ankle injury. So Allstott, the lone running back on first down from the 17-yard line, tied at 17. Allstott, nice move. And then charging forward, picks up about 4. Met there by Joel Smengi.
You know, and that for Tampa really could be a blow, because the changeup they had a really nice mix of Allstott and the Rhino package and the big people, and then you change it up and you get Dunn in there. And every time Dunn came in, it changed the pace of the game, and it also caused it to become difficult for the defenders of the Jacksonville Jaguars to understand who's going to be in there and how they have to play them.
And it's been their ground control offense taking time off the clock that has them tied here at 17. Allstott again. They were lucky to not give up more than the field goal after the interception by Hardy of the Jaguars. 4th time today they've had to start inside their own 20, and now they've got an important 3rd down.
Yeah, Bill, you're right. And that's really difficult for a defense when you got that change of pace going. Now they're in a situation where they know exactly what they're going to see the rest of the game, and what it does for the defense. They're rotating those guys up front, which they do a lot of, but it also gives them a chance to understand how this team's going to attack them.
Now you have Jerry Ellison in.
4 wide receivers, and Ellison, the lone running back. Dilfer on 3rd is sacked.
And it was Ellison who just got into the game for the first time today that missed his block. Bryce Pop just leaped right over the block of Ellison. Watch. He just gets in the game and he comes over here. Now watch. Right over him.
Great job by Bryce Pop. What an athlete. That brings up a situation.
And that secondary coverage right there was excellent.
Bracken's in on it as well, but it was Pop's play and a near block as Tommy Barnhart gets it away. It bounces over midfield, and a dive for the loose ball down at the 43-yard line. They signal Jacksonville ball. Reggie Barlow muffing that, but the Jaguars able to get it back after a 33-yard punt that was nearly blocked. Well, that sack, the first of the game and the first in the last 3 games. Pop and then Brackens, and you can see a little helmet-to-helmet there as Brackens came in. Dilfer did go to the locker room, but we're told that it was not as a result of that hit in terms of the blow, but rather that the word is that he had cramped up. So we'll find out more and pass it on. Meanwhile, Jacksonville ball. Brunell hits on first down. Coming up quickly to close on the action was Abraham, and it was McCardell making the catch, his first of this game. Keenan McCardell, who missed last week with a shoulder injury. 8 minutes to go in the third.
One thing Jacksonville hasn't done really is take advantage of Freddie Taylor. They haven't been running Fred Taylor enough.
And the Bucks have helped there by having the clock time working against the Brunell offense. And they've got him in trouble here. Brunell throws it out of bounds. Good coverage downfield and a good rush by the Bucks.
You know, you're getting the pressure on him and getting him moving around, and he's making decisions. So every time he's moved around, he's thrown the ball away. You know, that effect that he has on that groin, it's got to be bothering him in some sense when he's having to leave the pocket and he doesn't want to. You see the interceptions there. Only one game has he had more than 3 interceptions.
Third down situation with 4 to go. They've been 4 times 3 and out. Let's see if they connect here. And no, they do not. That ball was tipped on the way.
John Lynch.
And so that is
a piece of that thing.
That's now 5 times that the Jaguars have been 3 and out here.
Yeah, John Lynch comes in right here, shoots the gap, able to get his hands up, and that's what John Lynch brings to this team. He does all the little things. Right there, he blitzes, he makes the big tackle, he uses his body. He does a lot of little things that turn out to be big things in the game.
Low snap for Parker, just gets that away. Jaquez Green waiting for it, signals fair catch at the 12. And the Bucs will start deep in their own zone again. A 39-yard punt by Parker. We'll be back at Alltel Stadium, tied at 17.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. By the motor oil that provides maximum protection, Castrol GTX, drive hard. And by the United States Marine Corps, the change is forever.
We're back at Alltel Stadium. That is the locker room door of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and behind it is Trent Dilfer. On the field is Steve Welch. So Dilfer has not returned to the game as yet. From what were reported as cramps, the veteran 31-year-old Steve Welch, who is 8 of 18 this season, only 18 throws, goes to Alstott on first down, starting from the 12-yard line. Warwick Dunn on the sidelines, and now the quarterback Trent Dilfer. We're tied at 17 with 7:15 to go in the third. Welch, in that 8 of 18, has included 3 interceptions. So he has not had a lot of action, and when he's been in there, it hasn't been very pretty. Acquired as a free agent last year from the St. Louis Rams. Been with 2 or 3 other teams in his NFL career. Former Miami Hurricane star. Flag down as he wants to throw on second down, and he got the ball off, but
I believe they're going to have the right tackle, Jason Olden, moving early.
Ball start. 70 offense. 5-yard penalty.
Jason Olden, number 70, the right tackle.
His hand comes up before the ball snap.
And Bill, you got to attribute that to Steve Walsh coming in, a different snap count, different timing.
And a loud crowd.
It'll be 4 wide receivers.
And Warwick Dunn just got in. He just came in.
And Dunn will set up on the wing. Second and 13, inside to Dunn, and Dunn picks his way up to about the 13-yard line, back near the original line of scrimmage, leaving third down. That's one of those you figure Warwick Dunn talked his way back onto the field.
Well, that's the kind of player he is. I mean, he's a small guy and he's a flea, but really he's a rhino. He's a rhino in his heart. You know that.
Yeah.
It leaves third down and 8. Flag down, and again it must have been a false start because Welch, upset, just fires the ball into the ground.
Ball start. 81 offense. 5-yard penalty.
Jaquez Green, the wide receiver this time, flagged.
They got to give that one to the crowd right there. This crowd is starting to get up for this game. For the first half, I thought we would have more emotion from the crowd, but now I'm starting to feel it.
I think the crowd may be a little surprised that they've gotten as much opposition from a 4-5 team. There's the penalty on Green. Third down and 13. He just got it away. Dunn hit hard, just over the original line of scrimmage once again, and Tampa Bay will have to punt.
Great pursuit on the screen by the down lineman. Jose White, Brackens was out there.
That's Jason Odom limping off.
That thing was set up, but it's the hustle of these guys in here. See these guys, and they come back. Because here's your rush that sets up the screen. Now you get your backside pursuit to run it down. Great effort.
Barnhart standing at his goal line. Hits it from the 5. Reggie Barlow waiting for it at the 45-yard line. And steps out at the 49 of Jacksonville. A 41-yard punt. A 4-yard return. Good field position. Jaguars. Tim Ryan, Bill Maas, Ronnie Lott here in Jacksonville. A quick look at the NFC Conference Week 11 playoff picture. Minnesota, Atlanta, Dallas. Those are the 3 division leaders. Minnesota and Atlanta both with victories today. Dallas leading in their game handily. 49ers fall to 7-3. And here comes Trent Dilfer back onto the field. Steve Walsh worked the last series.
You see his left arm? See the gauze? That's IV. You got an IV.
So cramps the problem apparently. Brunell on first down. That's complete to Jimmy Smith. And a first down at the 40 of the Bucs. Let's go to James Brown for an NFL update.
On 4th and goal had gotten stopped, but Dallas picked up a penalty. Fresh new set of downs for Arizona. They capitalized. Mario Bates, Arizona trying to stay solidly in that playoff picture, Timmy. Back to Tim Ryan, Ronnie Lott, and Bill Maas.
That's one guy that'll never need an IV. James Brown.
We have confirmed that's indeed what that patch was. Good pickup by Bill Maas. And that ball looked like it might have been tipped on the way. Jimmy Smith, the intended receiver. Whether somebody got a hand on it or not, looked like it changed direction.
Yeah, you see see the gauze on the left arm? You go in and you get that cramping problem and you intravenous fluids right into your system. The Pedialyte, the stuff that goes, so it gets right in to your body. It starts working effectively for the areas so your body has something to absorb.
Meanwhile, the Jags with a 2nd and 10 inside the 40 of Tampa Bay. We're still tied at 17. That is Jimmy Smith shakes one tackler and may have another first down. It'll be close here with the spot. Vincey, the safety number 22, pushed him out. It may not have prevented the first down.
When you talk about Jimmy Smith and all the catches he's got about 43, 44 catches on the year so far. And, you're talking about a guy who in Dallas missed a couple years, had a broken leg, and then he had the appendectomy, and then he was out of football for a year in '94. He went to Indianapolis, and he was completely out of football in '94. And you look at the things that this kid is doing nowadays and what kind of receiver he is. It's amazing.
What a pickup for them from the Eagles back in '95, their expansion year. On first down, Taylor lost about 2.
Tampa Bay, they might have lost more than that. They might have lost
Sapp says he has the football, right. Well, probably lose the argument.
Well, you see how he just dropped the ball. Usually you hand the ball to the referee. But Sapp, being the guy that he is, said, hey, look, if you really want the ball,
bend down and pick it up. Because he thought it was Tampa Bay's ball. A little disgruntled there. What great gap control. Look at the gaps all sealed up.
Culpepper with the initial contact. Yeah.
But he was on the ground
already down. 2nd and 13. Shelton now the fullback.
Hey.
False start. 82 offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
You were saying hey to Jimmy Smith, of course.
Well, actually,
you saw him move and you were trying to help him out.
I was trying to help him.
It was too late.
Whoa down there, Nelly.
That backs him up to the 37-yard line, still in Tampa Bay territory. 2nd and 18, 2:48 to go in the third. We're tied at 17. A lot of Louie going on. And Brunell is sacked. And that was Barber. The nickelback blitzing, Rondé Barber.
And he looked like a lineman there, Rondell Barber, swimming that offensive lineman. That was an excellent job on his part getting through that hole.
Well, they had the Louie on. You hear him called Louie? So before we heard Roger, this is Louie. And what that is they're talking to the protection. The back comes left, okay? Because he's got to pick up the extra blitzer. So the back goes left, the line goes right, but the back has to pick up Rondé Barber. He got by him.
Second sack by Tampa Bay. Third and very long. Screen pass to Taylor. Taylor exploding. Taylor inside the 15 with a first down.
Remember when I talked about Tampa Bay when they ran the screen pass and what a great job Jacksonville did with their down linemen? Well, watch this screen. The linemen don't pursue. They're caught here, and then look, there's nothing back this way. There's nothing underneath.
And Fred Taylor does an excellent job of reading his receivers, and these guys do a great job blocking.
30-yard pickup. They needed 26, and they got the first down. Taylor again takes a hit at the 10. It gets to about the 8. That's Brian Kelly, a rookie cornerback playing for the injured Anthony Parker with a hit.
When we talked to Chris Palmer, the offensive coordinator, the one thing he talked about, he says, I like Fred Taylor. Not only as a running back does he help us in that aspect, but he can catch the ball for us, and he can catch the ball deep for us as well. They line him up in various positions, but he's a guy that they like to get the ball to any way they can.
61 receiving yards already. This is Jones, George Jones getting his first carry as Taylor gets a blow. Second-year running back out of San Diego State.
You mean that's not the country western singer?
No, not the same guy. I don't think so.
I got you.
Actually, he's a power. That George Jones right there is a powerhouse. He's a little bowling ball type of guy. He was up with the Pittsburgh Steelers in their training camp. Remember last year?
Yeah, they got him as a free agent this season, did the Jaguars. Third down and 5. Long 4. And pressure on Brunell again.
47.
Hard. Good job again.
47 Lynch.
Safety John Lynch came out 2 hours before game time and made sure that he could go, and he wanted to go.
And what you see there is the timing. To be a good blitzer, not only do you have to get through the gap, but you got to have good timing. Lynch had good timing.
And they brought more people than Jacksonville had to protect.
So Hollis will attempt a 27-yard field goal, and again the Bucs at least will hold the Jaguars to a 3 if Hollis makes it here. And he does. His second field goal of the game gives the hometowners a 20-17 lead here in Jacksonville. 31 seconds left in the third quarter. We look at John Lynch, sore back and all, wanting to be in this one after missing last week's action.
Tampa Bay's defense is playing exceptionally well. They're holding Jacksonville to field goals. Last 2 times they were down in that area, they just held them to the field goals. They're gap control, they're a lot of speed, they're flying around. Now Tampa Bay's offense has been hurting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a team because there was the all-stop fumble that turned into a touchdown. Then when Jacquez Green came out and Jerry Ellison comes in, he misses the block that caused a sack, and then the field position changes. Jacksonville gets the short field, and they go down and get 3 points.
Yeah, and that interception, as you know.
Oh, that really hurt.
That hurt.
That was another 3 points, though.
Well, tonight after a new World's Funniest, Homer's gone hippie on a far-out new Simpsons. Then make a date at the drive-in on a brand new That 70s show. I'll have to explain to my partners what a drive-in is. Plus, it's the second all-new X-Files episode of the season. It all starts tonight at 7:30 right here on Fox.
Man, I go to the drive-ins all the time.
Are they back?
Oh, I still go to the drive-ins, man. I take my kids to the drive-ins, yeah.
I actually read a story recently that they're making a comeback nationwide, but for a lot of years it was hard to find a drive-in movie.
Well, the deal, you know what?
That was a 70s thing.
Well, it's a built-in babysitter.
Well, you got that, but I can't take that portable hearing device with me when I got to go to the snack stand where all the burgers are and chips and nachos. I missed the movie.
Kickoff taken at the 7-yard line by Riddell Anthony. Right up the middle this time. A flag is thrown. Another one. We just get flags on kickoff returns this season in the National Football League.
Well, you said you just wish they'd allow holding on kickoff.
Yeah, right. That's my, I'm trying to help the game. See, it's a holding call. My proposal is that they allow holding on the kickoff.
Well, see, Tim, they don't get a chance to really throw the flags. This is right here is an art for a referee to be able to.
51 on the return team, on the run back, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Now, see, the fans don't want to see
Yeah,
that.
I know they don't want to see it, but it's an art to throw the flag 20 yards.
Yeah, right. Well, yes, but nobody paid a ticket to come and watch that sport.
Go back to the sack here by Lynch on the outside. This kept them 3 goal. Watch the helmet to helmet. And that's really been an issue that the NFL has come down on. They're very hard about. Warren Sapp.
That's a guy who had a concussion 2 weeks ago himself. And may have given one on that play. First down from the 14. Play action. Dilfer back at quarterback. Lots of time. Throws a line drive too low, intended for Bert Emanuel.
Make the plays when you have them. Trent Dilfer's accuracy has been a problem this game and, well, for most part of his career. He's always just a little bit off. Here's a chance to get your team downfield. You've got it. You've got great protection. You've got a guy underneath here in Allstott, and you're right there. Make the throw. Lead him. If had the ball been thrown up here to the hash marks, he may still be going. Jason Odom, the right tackle, goes down. And that means Jerry Wunsch, number 71, comes into the game.
Dunn and Allstott in the I formation. Allstott in the lead back position. They give it to Dunn. Dunn off tackle left, and Dunn close to the first down. Not showing any ill effects of both what appeared to be a twisted knee and what we know to be a sprained ankle, or at least a sore ankle. And he just keeps on ticking. And we've reached the end of the third with the score. The Jaguars 20, the Buccaneers 17. Here under the command of Captains Marty Chandler and Brian Comer. Life Blimp Snoopy 1 and Snoopy 2 have been providing aerial shots of sporting and special events since 1987. There ain't anybody who doesn't love Snoopy. Whether he's flying or back at home in the doghouse out there in the coffee grounds in Sebastopol, California. Third down. 2. That's complete. A flag is downfield. Riddell Anthony.
Whoa,
Anthony just tripped up, keeps his balance, and he's in the end zone. Will it hold up? It's a Tampa Bay touchdown for the moment. 79 yards.
That's a Tampa touchdown.
Tampa touchdown.
And it looks like it's going to hold up.
They call it holding. It's holding.
And it's against the Jaguars. The score is good. The Bucs are back on top.
Holding, 21 defense, penalty is declined, touchdown.
We talked to Trent Dilfer yesterday, and he says, hey, I'm not concerned about my numbers. You can say what you want about me about accuracy. It's the fourth quarter of games in which I have to shine.
And right there, not only did he shine, he was able to find the right guy. Riddell Anthony.
And the fast guy.
And the fastest guy.
Riddell Anthony, the second-year man from Florida, 36 catches coming into the game. More than he had all last season as a rookie, and a big play there. Houston with a point after. And the Buccaneers on top 24-20.
Every time you want to sit back and try to gamble just a little bit. Right here you gamble, you play man on man. Anthony beats Beasley on the inside move, and that's a big play in this game.
Second touchdown of the season, of the game for Anthony.
That's their longest play of the year.
And for Riddell Anthony, 2 catches, 126 yards, both of them going for touchdowns. And of course, his career long, the second-year man out of Florida. But Ike Hilliard gave them such an explosive offense in the air, and then they had Fred Taylor as their running back. Not a bad outfit.
Right here you can see how he beats him by giving him an outside move and then working back underneath Beasley. And Bill, we talked about this to Dick Geron, the defensive coordinator, and he says, you know, I really don't want to put my guys in that position.
Because he said, one reason he said, because man-to-man coverage, especially Beasley, he doesn't use his hands well on the jam.
14:47 to go. Regulation time. We're early in the fourth. Trent Dilfer, who's been under criticism as the Bucs have fallen below the 500 mark.
Spot pass.
They fire it over to Will Moore, and Moore gets to about the 24-yard line. Trent Dilfer, see, still a little uncomfortable as he comes off, but Trent Dilfer, as we said, a guy who's come under a lot of heat, passing at 55%. His touchdown to interception ratio has been all right, but what he has said he wants to do is what we've been talking about. He's been unable to consistently make the big plays when you need him. Well, he made one there. Dilfer with 8 touchdown passes coming into the game against 6 interceptions, and he's had one more pick here. But 2 touchdown strikes to Anthony.
Speaking of picks.
Brunell gives it to Taylor, and Taylor flagged down as he is stopped after a gain of about a yard.
Taylor carries penalty flag.
And the flag is against Tampa Bay. Referee Bernie Kukar.
Holding, 62 offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Coleman, the guard.
Oh, he was blocking on Sapp. Here's Sapp. Look how wide he is, and Coleman has to get up here. See, he's trying to get outside of him, and then he gets his arm outside there. Has a piece of that jersey. That's a tough block for a guard to make when he's got to reach outside the 3 technique, and Sapp was so wide out there.
First down and 20 for the Jaguars. Back up deep in their own end. Screen pass. Taylor got away from the first man. That was Kelly, but Warren Sapp was there to come back and make the play on him.
The number 28, Fred Taylor. Warren Sapp makes the tackle at the 20-yard line.
This is before the IV. This isn't 4 like Super Bowl 4 Roman numerals. This is the IV. and this is his numbers before the IV, this half, and then after the IV. Heck, yeah, maybe they ought to give him an IV every day.
Second down and 13. Bucs smell something. They changed their defense. Brunell takes it up the pocket. He'll take off, and then he had a man waiting for him, Hardy Nickerson, and decided he would just take the low ground.
You know, the one thing, there's a difference. You don't think it's bothering him. You know he's a tough guy. He's never going to let you hear about it. But normally when Mark Brunell scrambles, things happen. That hasn't been the case today. He's gone down twice, and he's thrown the ball away all the other times he's scrambled. Normally when he's healthy and he's scrambling around, something happens big.
Brunell 15 of 27 to this point. 12:56 to go in regulation time. Bucs show blitz.
Clock went down. They lost the clock. The play clock ran down. They were trying to hold in there, and Mark Brunell didn't get the play off in time.
Ball start.
Well, it was a good
65 offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
False start, and I think it was caused when those Bucs came rushing up showing that blitz. Somebody moved. There were still 4 seconds up there at the time.
You see the bodies up in here.
And that's what happens when you get up in there. Now, it's a rule that says that you can't make these guys flinch. And they didn't make them flinch. They just came up there and stopped.
Charge against the center, Quentin Newyear on third down. Intended for McCardell. He couldn't hold on. He took a real good shot as the ball arrived. That was Rondé Barber. Now let's get an update from James Brown.
Hey, Tim, Arizona trying to tie Dallas for first in the NFC East, but Emmitt Smith keeping him at bay. This is his 3rd touchdown of the day. That gives him 127 for his career. He's now 3rd all-time in touchdowns, moving past Jim Brown, Tim, Ronnie, and Bill.
So Dallas flexing its muscles right there in Arizona. 4th down here for Jacksonville. Barker's punt. It bounces at the 30 and then upfield. So it'll be spotted near the 35-yard line, a 47-yard punt. 12:16 to go. Jaguars trailing.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chevy S10, like a rock. By IBM, are you ready for e-business? By First Union, your guide to the financial world. and by UPS, moving at the speed of business.
Tim Ryan, Bill Ma's running a lot here in Jacksonville, and interesting numbers here. He's doing what he wanted, and not only that, it's what leads to success normally.
That's the ingredients. That's the recipe for the Tampa Bay Bucs' success. It's no secret.
Allstott. We got a great combination of Allstott and Warwick Dunn. Hardy and Schwartz made the tackle. Dunn came into the game with 564 yards rushing. Allstott with 415. Combined, they're quite a tandem. Dunn has missed a few plays because of injury here, but has come back in to gut it out, do what he normally does.
Bill, let me ask you a question. You played a nose tackle, but if you had the Rhino people coming at you, how do you take that all for 3.5 quarters, 4 quarters?
It's going to wear on you. I don't care how many people you platoon in there, as Jacksonville has about 8 defensive linemen platooning.
Allstott again hit behind the line, struggles back to the line of scrimmage. You know, Dilfer, guys, is 8 of 17 in this game, but he's got 3 touchdowns, a season high. So far, as Tony Dungy has said he wanted from his team to run the ball as they've done, Dilfer's done what he told us in the meeting he needs to do. I mean, there's no way to cut that. The numbers aren't pretty, but here he is.
That's exactly right.
Making the big plays, and credit is due him for that.
Dilfer is good when this guy's good. When Allstott is having a good game and the running game is going and you change it up with Warwick Dunn, then Dilfer becomes good.
Crowd wants him stopped on 3rd and 5, and there's a flag down. Zeros are up on the play clock. Let's see whether that's the call or if there's more than one.
We got delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty for 3rd down.
So it turns it into a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, there's a big sigh right there.
This is another one of those situations that Dilfer has really been concentrating on, saying these are the plays that I have to make in order to be a top quality quarterback.
He's a little bit better at 3rd and 5 than 3rd and 10.
Gets some time, and he's going to go deep. Overthrowing Jaquez Green down the sideline.
That's where Trent Dilfer makes mistakes.
And that's where, Bill, as you know, you got to make that play.
10:26 remaining. Tampa Bay 4-point lead.
No players, you see looking up. Players always look up at the Jumbotron to see exactly what happened on that play.
Barnhart's punt. Just got it away, and he is hit. There'll be a penalty. A short punt. Returned by Barlow to the 42-yard line of Jacksonville, but there'll be at least a running into penalty against the Jaguars. Punt went only 31 yards.
Running into the kicker, number 20 on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Donovan Darius.
Well, see, they can punt it again if they accept this, but it's not going to be an automatic first down because it's not enough for the first down. Now, see, back to Dilfer. Back to the Dilfer taking the delay of game. If it was 3rd and 5 and that had happened, that 5 yards would have translated into a first down.
I got to believe they're going to want to punt again. They only got a 31-yarder away. The Bucs have had a couple of close calls blocking Barker, but this time it was Jacksonville with a near block that turned into a running into the kicker penalty. So Barnhart will do it again. Standing at his 25-yard line. Reggie Barlow waiting for it at the 15. And this is a good punt. Backs him up to the 10. Barlow trying to get wide, cannot do it. He's dropped at the 19-yard line. First contact from Shevin Smith, just elevated from the practice squad. Snakes, I mean, you into bees? You're going to watch that one too?
Oh, yeah, I got to watch that one.
First down, Jacksonville at the 19. Hard running by Taylor. It's about 7.
You know, on that running play, one of the things Tom Coughlin said that he wanted to run after the Denver loss. He said we have to run the ball better. And right now they have 53 yards. He's been disappointed in the consistency of his offense, and we've seen that in this game. And he also said that teams defined what they are. They define themselves and what they are in the months of November and December.
He's got a 2nd and 3 here. Motion to Cardell. Brunell trying to set up the screen, and that is picked off. Flag is down. Was it caught or not? No. Incomplete is signal. Sapp claiming he made the pick. A flag thrown at the line of scrimmage after Sapp knocked that ball down.
I think the ball, when it was thrown, hit an offensive lineman first.
Bernie Kukar, referee. Checking with the head linesman. Side judge gets into it. Coughlin just saying it should just be an incomplete pass. I don't want anything else. I'll accept that. There was a flag down. You don't get that for an incomplete pass. Sapp, of course, says, hey, I caught the ball.
I thought the ball might have touched an offensive lineman. They obviously can't be the first person to touch the ball.
Right.
But it looked like from here in the mix of things, and then it would hit, and Sapp had a chance at it.
Illegal touching, 72 offense. The ball hit him. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Okay, the sharp eyes of Bill Maas. It was Cersei, number 72.
He's right here. Nope. He gets under pressure, and he throws the ball. Now, watch the ball. Watch the first person it hits. Well, we can't see it from that angle, but maybe from this angle here.
Wow, that looked to me like it hit a...
Oh, no, you know what?
Like it hit a
that
buck.
hit a buck first.
Absolutely. It looked like it hit a buck.
Yeah.
Late. Now, was it caught by Sapp after that? We got a... No, was it?
No, it hit the ground.
Should have just been an incomplete pass.
Let's take a look. That ball's touched right there. Jose White has that. No, that's Steve White. Steve White,
number 94.
Yes. He hits the ball right there. And actually, it never touches an offensive lineman.
Right. And Coughlin had it right. He said it should have been an incomplete pass. Taylor gets it up to the 29-yard line.
I see that's 4th down. It's not enough for the first down. They're going to have to punt the ball again.
That's going to make 7. 3 and outs for them.
They're going to call for a measurement here. It's pretty darn close.
You think it's a smidgen?
Well,
if they don't get it, it goes back to that call.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I'm going to bet short here. Try to eyeball this about 3 or 4 inches. Wrong. First down. Don't trust your eyes from this far away.
Well, especially at your age.
That may be it. I've got my good glasses on here.
Well, wait a minute. You got what are good glasses? Could you tell me?
They're the night glasses. It's at nighttime.
Night vision, right?
Okay.
Under the lights glasses. First down for Jacksonville, so they'll be at their 29-yard line, and that turns into a pretty big series for them. They trail by 4. Brunell sideline. That's complete to Jimmy Smith. Depending on the spot, it'll be again close to another first down. And forward progress will give it to them. They spot it right at the marker.
And Brian Kelly is we haven't mentioned his name much today, Bill. Rookie. He's been out there against Jimmy Smith, and he's really held up his own out there.
Guys, well, let's see that play again.
We'll take a look here. This is a deep throw. This is a deep out. It comes all the way across the field. That's the strength of Mark Brunell. He's got a strong arm, and to throw that all the way across the field on that deep out, it was a nice close by Brian Kelly, too. When you make that catch and bang, you stick him right there. No yards after the catch. And it's a good thing. It's almost like an offensive lineman. When you're a cornerback, you don't want to get your name called because normally it's not good.
Good. That's right.
And that spot, very, very close. but just short. So it's going to be second and a few inches. Now, something to bear in mind, 8:17 to go in the fourth. Mark Brunell, since taking over in that first season for Steve Berline as the starter with the Jaguars, has led Jacksonville to 10 come-from-behind victories in the fourth quarter. Part of his great leadership ability, and his team is down right now by 4 with 8:10 to play. Second and inches. Taylor has the first down to the 42-yard line, squeezing his way out the right side. Mincy came up from the safety to put the stop on him.
Bill, you know, we look at this game and you get the feel it's like a playoff game. And really, Tampa knows that they have to win this game to stay in that playoff race.
A 9-11 call, one of their own guys called it. They simply have to come up big here tonight on the road. They haven't won a game on the road all season long. They're 0-4. And these Jaguars are unbeaten at home this season. In fact, they've won 19 of their last 21 here at Alltel. Brunell is sacked.
And again, I'm going to go back and say, maybe that injury, the groin injury to Brunell, is a little bit more than either he or anyone else wants to admit. Because that's not the Brunell we're used to seeing.
Brad Culpepper with his 5th sack of the year.
Watch Culpepper here. First of all, they get this little stunt going here. They come like this. Watch these guys come around. They loop around here, and Culpepper's just fighting. Then he closes. You get the push outside and get the quarterback moving around. And then normally the push guy, the original push guy, they'll come back to you.
And good coverage downfield we should give them as well. On 2nd and 16. That's complete. Mitchell battles his way up to the 45, and the crowd gives him applause for that effort.
I do too.
Short.
Heck, I do too. I like him.
Yeah, I got to give him some on that as well. I mean, you know, Bill, that right there, that little effort now gives them 3rd, and instead of 10 or 12, it gives them 3rd and 8.
Derek Brooks on the tackle for the Bucs. Well, this is a huge defensive play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 6:30 on the clock. Brunell from the shotgun. They show blitz. Just gets it away. And he's got a man open. McCardell, first down. Jacksonville.
Great play by Mark Brunell.
28 yards down to the 27-yard line of Tampa Bay.
Look, you don't see the way he's walking. He's got his hand down on him. First of all, watch. He has time to realize it's coming. He remains cool. He knows he's going to get hit. But he finds the 101 down the field.
And he buys the receiver time to break free. Right here, you see Barber take the outside. McCardell works on the inside. But it was Brunell that gave him time.
First down, Jaguars. Taylor drives hard and picks up close to 5.
You talk about a gutsy guy, a team guy, a leader. You talk about leadership. You talk about fourth quarter comebacks, Tim. You talk about Mark Brunell. He's got an injury. He's hurting out there. He is hurting. You can see it in his body expression. He stood in there, took the shot, knew he was going to take the shot, and made that completion, buying his receiver some time.
And a perfect floater that he threw over the coverage. Good job by McCardell. Big play receiver. And that's complete.
That's complete.
Damon Jones. First down.
That was to the sofa.
And Sofa decided to become a sofa and let it go. You got to protect the ball. And Coughlin right there knows how the sofa is. The sofa knows that he has to be more protective.
They call him Sofa because he's lazy. And he does some commercials for a furniture company. But 88, the sofa. That ball's a fumble.
Man, that ball came out. Absolutely.
It was recovered by Jacksonville.
Yeah, did come out.
He was lucky.
Jaguars ball, first down. The sofa would have been taking some hits in the locker room in those pillows. Yeah.
Sofa might have been turned into the bench.
Brunell, and just too high for Jimmy Smith. Again, pressure coming up on Brunell, led by Reagan Upshaw.
Yes, Sofa was fortunate on this play right here. Caught. And then on this hit right here by Gooch, the ball is out.
Fortunately, an alert.
Good hustle.
Alert grab.
Great hustle by Jimmy Smith.
5:44 taken off the clock. We're down to 4:22 to play. Brunell flushed and takes off. He's going to run it. Trying to get to the end zone. Touchdown! Mark Brunell, but a flag down. A flag on the play, but what an effort by Mark Brunell.
And Boselli held.
It's coming back.
That has wiped out a 16-yard touchdown
When the offensive linemen are standing back there and the rest of the team is celebrating in the end zone, you know it's a holding call against the offense.
Holding, 71 offense. 10-yard penalty.
Well, that's his
second down.
That's his closest friend on this team, and they provide the leadership.
See, you're looking up. Everybody, you always look up to the Jumbotron to see what you did. Right there. That was it. That was it. He had the outside of his shoulder pads, and he kind of got a pull on him.
Upshaw's given Boselli trouble 2 or 3 times. He had the rush on the previous play. Second down. The cut, yes. Nice catch.
Reggie Barlow.
Diving grab by Reggie Barlow, number 84, the third wide receiver. Getting time for McCardell last week when McCardell was out with a shoulder, an 11-yard pickup.
If you want to learn how to play quarterback, watch this guy.
He took another huge hit and bought his receiver time. He stood in the pocket. He knows he's going to get hit. Donnie Abraham, who was injured last week, you can see right there, down on the ground.
Abraham's been out, was out 3 games with a knee injury. Was somewhat questionable to go in this game. So he's getting attention. We have 3:53 to play. Bucs still lead by 4. Welcome back to Jacksonville. We're under the lights here. We'd like to welcome those of you who have just joined us in the Atlanta area watching our Atlanta affiliate. Donnie Abraham has had to leave after the tackle on Barlow. Barlow made a good diving catch. And that brings in Rondé Barber. Also into the secondary now on this 3rd and nearly 10 is Floyd Young. Rondé Barber normally in that nickel spot, having to go in Abraham's corner spot. And a timeout call by the Jaguars. 3:35 on the clock. Jacksonville 3rd and nearly 10. They trail by 4. They have the ball at the 16-yard line of Tampa Bay. And of course, Jacksonville leading the division, got help from Tennessee today when Pittsburgh lost. They play the Steelers next week. For the Tampa Bay Bucs, it's desperation time.
And the defense for the Bucs has been outstanding all day. But Jacksonville needs this drive, and they've put a drive together. Since taking the ball, they've come out here, and they've made things happen. They looked like they were stopped, and they get a first down. There was a penalty, and there was a touchdown, and Brunell scrambling around to make things happen, standing in a pocket, taking shots.
And had a 16-yard touchdown run called back by a holding penalty. He's 6 of 7 on this drive, passing 68 yards, hitting 5 different receivers. And this is the biggest play yet. Short drop, gets time. Too high. Intended for Jimmy Smith, incomplete. 4th down. Field goal unit comes on. 24-20 the score. Tampa Bay on top.
Great job there. Great job on the defense. You talked about it, Bill. They did an excellent job of disguising the coverage, and then they came up and jammed them and took away the zones.
Well, they came up, they showed that blitz, and they had been blitzing, and Mark Brunell was getting used to it. And then they bailed back out.
Mike Hollis trying a 34-yard field goal. And he nails that. Hollis, with his 3rd field goal of the game, draws the Jaguars to within 1. 3:27 to play. Tim Ryan, Ronnie Lott, Bill Maas here in Jacksonville. They've just drawn to within a point. Tom Coughlin giving him a vigorous pep talk there. That to his specials team. They'll be kicking it off. Gentlemen, any shot at an onside kick here? 3:27 to go.
I'd be surprised if they did. I think what he was doing, he's talking to that unit saying, I need coverage out of you, because that's an area they've been hurting. They need coverage because they can keep them down, put it on their defense to get out in 3 plays and get the field position.
They kick it deep. With Del Anthony from the 1. Anthony had a bit of a hole, ran into the traffic and was dropped. Brent Boyer, reserve linebacker, made the stop after an 18-yard return. Jacksonville took 6:39 off the clock in that last drive. Starting out, that probably sounded pretty good, but by the end of it, maybe they used up a little too much time. 3:18 to go. Well, tonight on Fox, after the World's Funniest, Homer's gone hippie on a far-out new Simpsons, then make a date at the drive-in on a brand new That 70s show. Plus, the second all-new X-Files episode of the season coming up after football.
Here comes the Rhino package.
Moore in tight to block, and they stuff the Rhinos.
And they call timeout.
Gain of maybe 2 at the most on that play. Allstott stopped by Brian Schwartz.
Tony Bracken's right there, shot across Bill, and it made Allstott. He had to define where he wanted to go. Did an excellent job there getting across the line of scrimmage.
Jacksonville has 1 timeout remaining, having called this one. 3:11 to go. It's on the defense now. Tom Coughlin's Jaguars trying to remain unbeaten at home. Leading in the Central Division of the AFC. Help today from Tennessee beating Pittsburgh.
Here comes the Rhino package again. And this is where you start setting them up. You know, you pound this Rhino package, and then you start seeing other stuff off of it. And that's what you're going to get.
Ball is dropped by Lorenzo Neal. First pass thrown to him. Nifty idea, but Neal unable to hold on. Tony Dungy.
Very rarely rattled about anything.
That was a deep breath. That's a lot of emotion he just showed there.
Yeah, it is. That's about the most you're going to get out of him.
He tries to stay calm at all times. He's answered that question. He said, I like to think ahead. I don't want to get lost in emotions. 3rd and 8. Crowd into this situation. Gilfer has time. Now he's flush. Looking for an open man. Comes back. Throws it out of bounds.
In the heck?
Jaquez Green and Dave Moore both over on that side. Jacksonville will have the ball back. 3 minutes left.
When you look at Dilford, he's trying to find something. They're buying time. They're giving him excellent time. He's looking around the field, but right there, you see 2 guys right in front of him.
Barnhart. Yeah, there's a clutch kick from Tommy Barnhart. Fair catch signaled at the 30 by Barlow. 48-yard kick. 2:52 to go. Remember, we remind you again that 10 times Mark Brunell has brought his team from behind in the 4th quarter. He got him down for a field goal that brought them to within 1. He's got 2:52 to work with now from his own 30. Donnie Abraham back into the secondary. Came into the game with a bad knee, missing the last 3 games. Brunell 22 of 37. 3 wide receivers. Inside handoff to Taylor. Away from Mincy down the sideline. One last shot at him. He dances in. Touchdown. $70 yards for the rookie from Florida. His 3rd touchdown of the day. Fred Taylor. 22-year-old rookie picked in the 1st round. 29-24 Jaguar lead, and it looks like they're going for 2. 2:40 still to play. It's a lot of time left for the Bucs.
Well, they have to go for 2 in case Tampa Bay comes back and scores 7. We're tied up.
Fourth lead change in this thriller. Taylor, fumble, loose ball, and they are stopped. So a 5-point lead for Jacksonville, 2:40 remaining for the Buccaneers to try to pull it out. Looking for their first road victory of the season. They've given up the lead.
Watch the cutback. This thing's going to start, the play's going to start this way and cut back this way. Watch him cut it back. I got to tell you, I believe they missed a call here. It looked to me as if Tony Baselli had a false start. I want you to take a look at 71. Watch him right here. I think he moves before anybody else moves.
That was close. But John Lynch has played well all day, Bill, and that was his gap. We talked about opening up the big gap, what you talked about, the lineman being able to rush up the field, but John Lynch had a big gap, and that's the one that he had to fill.
Well, you talked about that running game and where it's been, and they didn't have many numbers. It was there when you needed it. We saw Freddie Taylor do that again in an earlier game this year. First play of the game, bang. He springs one and goes the distance.
Coach Coughlin, when he went down to the University of Florida, didn't look at anybody else. They had a bunch of first-rounders on this football team, the University of Florida, and he wanted to look at this kid. He stayed with this kid and didn't look at anyone else, Bill.
Find a need and fill it. He fell in love with Fred Taylor, who now has 119 yards rushing.
And Jacksonville's fallen in love with him.
Anthony. Good return to the 30-yard line. 2:30 still on the clock. 28-yard return.
I thought Tony's in an up stance right here. It looked like he went before anybody else did. Watch the movement. It looked like he had that step before anybody else moved. Pretty darn close.
That's 4 100-yard rushing games for Fred Taylor.
Yeah, he sure did. He moved before anybody else moved.
A couple of questionable calls in the course of this game. Trent Dilfer with the crowd really making it difficult for him now. Has some time. Is that complete? Good catch. Yes, a dandy by Dave Moore. Stretching out to grab that. Pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. They're in the hurry up. 2:14 on the clock. Dilfer dropped at the 35. A loss of a couple. Joel Smengi. Sellout crowd in Jacksonville. 3rd and 5. The noise level raising. 3rd and 5, Tampa Bay. Short drop, Dilfer. Incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Moore. 4th down. One last shot here. 1:54 remaining.
I'll tell you, there's some great rush up top by Bryce Popp. And I think you can't have a back try to block Bryce Popp.
Yeah, you know, and Billy, he had the front side. He had the front side, but he didn't stay with it because he just didn't feel good about it.
Dilfer's passed for 3 touchdowns, but he's 1 of 5 since the last one. Intercepted. Aaron Beasley.
I think you could see it on Tony Dungy's face before we came out in 3rd and 5. It's not their game. He knows it. He was standing there with his arms crossed. He is uncomfortable when the game comes down to Trent Dilfer having to win it. Out of the 2-minute hurry-up offense, that is not Buccaneer football.
29-24 for Mark Brunell. It looks like it could be his 11th time that he has brought his team back in the fourth to win. Great diving grab by Beasley. The pass intended for Carl Williams.
You know, and to Trent's credit, you know, twice he had Warwick Dunn trying to block Bryce Pop. And he was in his face quickly.
149. Fred Taylor struggles for a couple. Down close to the 32 of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, now the Bucs have all their timeouts left.
John Lynch made the tackle, and the Bucs take the first of 3 available to them. Fred Taylor just carried there up to 121 yards, 3 touchdowns, 68 receiving yards, 190 yards total on the day for the rookie. Not a bad day.
And for Trent, his interceptions go to 9. And also the Buccaneers turnover ratio goes to -9. And like I said earlier, that's in no association with a Tony Dungy team. Whether he was a defensive coordinator or a head coach, they've always been plus in those areas.
Jacksonville scored 9 points in 47 seconds, and then they stopped Tampa Bay. They have 1:43 remaining and the football in Bucs territory. Taylor again, and Taylor with a second effort.
That hurt him.
Looks like he may have gotten the first down.
That really hurt him. If the Bucs were able to stop him and hold him and burn the timeouts, they'd force him into what would be a very long field goal.
Well, tonight, immediately following football, a new World's Funniest. Homer's Gone Hippie on a far-out New Simpsons. Then make a date at the drive-in on that 70s show. Plus, the second all-new X-Files episode of the season. It's all ahead after football here on Fox.
Bill, on the road, you come here, your defense plays well, but when you turn the ball over 3 times and you don't get turnovers, it's hard to win on the road.
Especially when you're a team that is run the ball, play action. There's not a large margin of error. And when you turn the ball over and you have that kind of mentality as your offense, when you turn the ball over, it's difficult to win in those circumstances.
Hill for 3 touchdown passes, but 2 interceptions, and then, of course, the first turnover, a fumble by Allstott.
Well, there's the numbers right there. When you're talking about turnovers, right here. 3. There's 3 today, and your chances of winning is 33%. You got 1 in 3 chance to win when you turn the ball over 3 times. Now look at this. Up here, when you don't turn the ball over, you got a pretty good darn shot of winning games.
3rd and inches for Jacksonville with 1:31 on the clock, protecting a 5-point lead. They have the ball in Tampa territory inside the 30-yard line. Everybody up on the line to try and stop this, but it will be, by all appearances, a Jacksonville first down. Pittsburgh's loss earlier today to Tennessee would give a Jacksonville victory a 2-game lead in the AFC Central Division. They go into Pittsburgh next week. Got to feel good about that.
Phil, you pointed it out. 0 turnovers, and that's what Jacksonville has right now.
No turnovers for Jacksonville and 78% chance of winning the game.
And another fourth-quarter performance by Mark Brunell, bringing his team back.
And Tony Dungy has to take a look at what's ahead. They fall into this was a very critical game for the Bucs, and it looks like they're going to keep the road woes the same at 0-5.
They'll fall to 0-5 in that category and 4-6 on the season.
A couple things happened to the Bucs, Tim. Early on, first of all, their stadium wasn't done. They had 2 road games on the road against 2 very good teams in Minnesota and Green Bay. And that was a difficult thing to start off with. Mark Brunell's going to take a knee here as the Bucs are out of timeouts.
You know, and had they won here, and they came very close to doing so, they only had 2 teams with winning records ahead of them in the remaining games, the Steelers and Green Bay. So this was clearly everything that even the Bucs had painted. It was a 9-11 call type of game. And the Jaguars will move to 8-2. Clearly the stronger team of the two, but a very competitive game right to the end here as they will take another knee and count it down. Today's game being produced by Michael Burtz and directed by Andy Kindle. Associate director is Rich Dewey and our broadcast associate Tom Yohe. Technical producer is David Graham. The studio show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports, Ed Gorin and David Hill. So the clock winds down, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, coming from behind late in the game, move to 8-2 atop the Central Division in the American Conference. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fail to win on the road again. They're 0-5, and they go to 4-6 on the season. So for Bill Maas and Ronnie Lott, this is Tim Ryan saying so long from Jacksonville and sending it to Pat Summerall and John Madden.